Welcome to the Democrat American Destruction Plan. In this video, we will cover past, present, and future steps. These steps have been performed in other countries with successful results and are subject to change as prescribed.
These steps have been performed in other countries as a testing ground for outcome validation. Each step can be customized per your requirements to destroy and recreate any functioning government and population.
Step 1. Accept foreign interference and buy off elected officials, judges, corporations, and citizens of influence to push the coordinated narrative. Example, CCP and Soros types.
Step 2. Take over traditional American institutions. Examples, public schools, colleges, FBI, CIA, NSA, all armed services, and the judicial branch. Install compromised individuals that can be controlled.
Step 3. Use all available resources to discredit any political opponent through unfounded legal actions, slanderous accusations, and pervasive negative media portrayals for years, characterizing them as Hitler, engaging in discriminatory and criminal behavior. If these actions fail, pursue assassination efforts with coordinated and precise timed security breaches, eliminating all threats in the name of democracy.
Step 4. Coordination between government agencies and mainstream news to weaponize fictional content as non-fictional propaganda. Example, anonymous and baseless leakers will perpetuate left-leaning news headlines inducing public concern, prompting government investigations, legislation, and never-ending narrative-driven headlines. The continuous, non-stop, uninterrupted headline cycle will brainwash most low-information U.S. viewers.
Step 5. Incorporate acceptance and censorship procedures across communication platforms. Example, social media, legacy news, papers, magazines, films, and books. Destroy any public figure exhibiting free thought deviating from the deployed narrative. Example, Phil Donahue. Cancel.
Step 6. Create division using race, cultural, political, sexuality, history, and financial status. Divide and distract the general public from government activities. This division will allow for additional controlling legislation.
Step 7. Teach children to dislike their country, judge people by ethnic groups, and find alternative parental sources. Provide easily accessible family-deteriorating media content causing dysfunctional and left-leaning bias narratives. Example, teachers, internet, TV media.
Step 8. Create domestic terrorist groups like BLM and Antifa disguised as social justice warriors and protesters. Utilize these domestically created groups to create chaos, divide and distract the general public from government activities. Example, burn down cities destroying businesses, personal property, and causing human suffering. Disguise them as community best interest representatives through the media. Keep an available legal fund to represent protesters to continue their activities across the nation.
Step 9. Create a movement dedicated to destroy traditional family values, holidays, religious beliefs, and general social norms. The success threshold will be determined when boys believe they are girls, and girls believe they are boys. Additionally, parents will be prosecuted if found resisting their children's mandates no matter the age. Disguised gender identity and human rights groups will be created to perform this initiative. Step 10.
Through cancel culture, intimidation, ostracism, and tribalism, create an environment where citizens are self-censored, afraid to openly speak on issues that are not in line with the deployed media narrative. Example, censorship through omission and heresy hunting.
Step 11. Hollywood will play its part by inserting dominant and leading women roles replacing male counterparts. Additionally, male masculinity will be downplayed and villainized. Men will be portrayed as the weaker, submissive, and lower intelligent gender. This step will also enhance and sensationalize mixed culture and same-gender relationships, creating a me-victim and oppression mentality. Step 12. Destroy the sacred traditional institution of marriage between a man and a woman by allowing same-sex marriage. Future movements will allow marriage between animals and inanimate objects. Step 13.
Allow open borders causing an influx of undocumented leading to mass financial and criminal issues across the nation. Example, crime, sex trafficking, drugs, and cartel activity. Undocumented will be strategically transported across the nation with paid reparations for family separation during arrests.
Step 13.
Create and ignore specific laws to circumvent the U.S. Constitution, causing social and government decay. Example, mass debt, decline world influence, allied mistrust, military downsizing, U.S. dollar to standardize and legalize undocumented. Note, illegals will artificially manipulate elections and consume federal, state, and local resources, deteriorating any attempt for corrective actions.
Step 15.
With Antifa, BLM, legalized undocumented, criminal release programs, media-generated rioting, all leading to nationwide mass chaos, causing the decline of state, local, and county law enforcement.
Step 16.
Provide free education to take over public schools, colleges and universities, cultivating young minds with contempt and disregard for American history, tradition, sacrifice, and prestige. Build a coalition, a movement of people who appear concerned with representation and equity of others while unwittingly eroding, justifying censorship and the elimination of the First Amendment. It's imperative these groups appear intelligent and free thinkers to infect other young individuals.
Step 17.
Pass economic legislation that will bankrupt America and future generations with Trojan horse laws for citizen monitoring and corporate mandates. Example, infrastructure plan, step-up removal, illegal nationalization, financial and banking institution monitoring, vaccine and climate change mandates, and overreaching estate taxes.
Step 18.
Utilize a man-made pathogen to restructure nationwide processes to facilitate the installation of public officials through unscrupulous means while appearing legal. Use these events to degrade and/or destroy the economic backbone of small businesses with unfair, restrictive, unconstitutional policies causing supply and labor shortages. Prolong these events into the next election cycle for additional candidate selection.
Step 19. Capture the nation's natural and/or synthetic resources through overbearing policies, regulations, taxes, and/or mob-style government coordination. Citizens will bear the burden of capitalism through harsh government oversight. Example, energy, housing market and farmland takeover, artificially high housing and living costs, small business no-compete regulations, federally run public utilities, migrant job takeover and increased asset forfeiture. Step 20.
In coordination with Bank of International Settlements, BIS, and America's created central bank digital currencies, CBDC, nullify and destroy all fiat currency, forcing a digital currency to all U.S. citizens. Without congressional legislation or state due process, impose this currency to monitor, track, and control citizens' daily activities. Use as evidence-gathering tool or thought process crime based on purchases. Example, if a citizen's cholesterol is high, they will not be able to purchase a fast food meal. Used to criminalize and prosecute middle and right-leaning political opponents.
Step 21.
Use the news, social media, and entertainment propaganda machine to accelerate public sympathy, to brainwash the American public of impending climate doomsday events if civil liberties are not withdrawn from the U.S. Constitution. Impose crippling regulations, taxes, and mandates to limit economic growth, property ownership, and force property civil forfeiture without due process.
Was to get Trump out of office, right? Without saying it, that's what it was, right? So our next thing is going to be for climate change awareness.
Do you think it's going to be just like a lot of like fear, like climate?
Yeah, fear sells. Fear sells. No one ever says those things out loud, but it's obvious.
What is it you do?
Was to get Trump out of office, right? Without saying it, that's what it was, right? So our next thing is going to be for climate change awareness.
Do you think it's going to be just like a lot of like fear, like climate?
Yeah, fear sells. Fear sells. No one ever says those things out loud, but it's obvious.
What is it you do?
to get Trump out of office, right? Without saying it, that's what it was, right? So our next thing is going to be for climate change awareness.
Do you think it's going to be just like a lot of like fear?
Step 22.
Institute laws that circumvent U.S. and state constitutions exerting control over citizens having no civil liberties, due process, or property ownership. Example, vaccine and mask mandates, banking, social, living, speech, health, sexuality, and thought regulations, internet browsing and reporting, zero tolerance pro-censorship, candidate selection, and election lotteries.
Step 23.
Destruction of the Supreme Court. Example, judiciary duties will be replaced by a federally run, proprietary neural network of multiple artificial intelligent algorithms.
Step 24. Create laws that circumvent the Constitution. Example, deploy the Capitol Police and U.S. military across the nation. Allow illegals to vote, no property ownership, child limits. Step 25.
With Capitol Police distributed across the nation, there will be a mandate that all weapons must be submitted for repossession. Refusal to comply will automatically label you as an enemy of the state with a lethal response.
Step 26.
Introduction of federally ran artificial intelligence legislation that nullifies the U.S. Constitution and changes the Republic to a pure democracy. This test will gauge citizen backlash, exposing nonconformists in preparation for civil extraction and reassignment treatment.
Step 27.
Artificially produce supply chain, product and service interruptions to punish non-compliant or succeeding states. Example, frequent targeted hacking incidents, controlled and targeted weather events.
Step 28.
Introduction of federally ran artificial intelligence legislation that changes the democracy status to a hybrid socialist, communistic region, removing all U.S. monuments, flags, text, media, any reference to historical context. This will create the NHR, Northern Hemisphere region. All civil liberties and due process procedures will be suspended.
Step 29.
Institute regional mandates that impose additional restrictions over states, corporations, and citizens to control climate change, creating a three-tier citizenship standard. Second- and third-class citizens are not allowed to participate in regional mandated legislation and restricted from fossil fuel luxuries unless approved with premium prepaid taxes. If approved, second- and third-class citizens may participate as first-class citizens if surrendering all estate assets. Note: first-class citizen status may be revoked at any time without reason.
Step 30.
Create contempt and mistrust among specific military branches. Introduce branch capability competitions with lethal outcomes.
Step 31.
Demilitarize all armed service branches, repurposing funds and personnel to non-military functions.
Step 32.
Introduction of a new COVID-like virus to thin out populations, targeting ethnic groups, social classes, and declined health of specific citizens. Introduction of death age limits based on class, social score, and good standing.
Step 33.
NHR cultural reparations will be dispersed to world regions and citizens for past U.S. crimes against humanity. With paid reparations, NHR is allowed to enter the world humanity government. As a second-class member, all NHR assets, resources, and citizens are products to be redistributed as needed per WHG requirements.
Step 34.
With the majority of steps achieved, see the on-screen captions for some of the more advanced initiatives that will be employed for population control and wealth distribution.
If your country needs a destruction plan, please contact Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer, Obama representatives, or the Clinton Foundation for a free consultation. Membership to the Democrat Party is required. Note: a deep dislike for freedom and liberty is required. Sponsored by the CCP, Club of Rome, HRC, and United Nations. Agenda 21, 30, and 50. See on screen for corporation co-sponsors.
And to the republic for which it stands,
no amendment to the Constitution is absolute.
under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
God bless America.